Hey guys.
Hey everybody. I'm Miss Kelly. For those that don't know me, I do the OT services on the south end, and Miss Katie.
I'm Miss Katie.
And she does the OT services on the north end of the county. We miss everybody. We hope everybody is safe and healthy. So we're gonna make the best of this. We are sending you 2 OT packets, one for April, one for May. So we want to spend a little time and go over kind of what's in the packet and kind of give you some direction. But that doesn't mean that you can't reach out to us if you have questions or anything comes up or you need additional resources.
Yes, these videos are going to be coming to you on Remind. So yes. We're kind of grouping them based off of the packets that we're sending out. Mm-hmm. So hopefully other parents in the group with you may also have some of the same questions. So feel free to comment on there. Hopefully that'll help with the repeat questions, and if someone else already had that question, they'll see it on there. And you know, that'll give a chance for everybody to talk together, maybe talk about other things that you have going on at home, just because home's not like school, and so school mm-hmm. OT is kind of, it's not the same when you're doing it at home. So we hope that'll be a good outlet for people to kind of reach out and collaborate as well.
Mm-hmm. And also know we're kind of giving you an overview of these, but everybody's packet may be a little bit different. We may have tailored something, put one extra sheet of this because we knew this kid needed to work on this a little bit more, or you know, what have you. But anyway, we're going to start with, it may be helpful to structure your sessions with starting with some sensory work. And not every student has these in their packet, but we wanted to share. They're called Be a Sensory Star at Home, and it gives you some activities that kind of help prepare your student for working. And these would be great because I know that you're doing academic packets at home too, so they've got to be able to focus for those. So these may be good things that you can do to prepare for that academic time, not just the OT stuff.
Right, and we're going to be giving you a bunch of different writing samples and things like that to work on. So this is not something we want you to just do and be done with. This would be something, a strategy you would start every session off with. So this is prepping mm-hmm. you for getting ready for doing work.
Yes, and it gives you, it has a blank in there asking you how many times. Most of my students do them anywhere from 3 to 10 times, and they kind of know their routine. And you don't have to do everything on these sheets either. So it's just, as Katie said earlier, just pick the things that you feel like work for your student. Okay, then these are 2, and again, not every packet is going to have these. This is a little 7-minute workout. Some of my older kids really like this, and it's got, you do each little animal movement for 45 seconds, 15-second rest. When we have done this, a lot of times we don't make it through all 7 animals. We just pick 3 animals, the 3 that they want to do, we do that, and then we get on to working. So this is just giving you extra tools. This one,
something we use called the sensational brain.
You want to talk about this
this is something we had hoped to kind of start at the end of this year and bring into next year, but we didn't get to that thanks to Corona. But this is something that will hopefully in the end let your child be more independent in their sensory needs and how to voice their wants and needs to you. It's got different little activities here. Red is one that shows when you're really ramped up and you need to calm down. Yellow are kind of some just right strategies. It's stuff that you would do on a day-to-day basis, not just because we're running on all gears. And then green is when you're feeling kind of mellowed out and out of there. You see your kid just doing this stare and you need to ramp them back up and get them back involved. It gives you some big motor movements to help alert them and get them more ready for work.
But sometimes you might have to do...
Yeah, sometimes you may have to mix them all.
Yes, so sometimes you may need to get the movement first. So these are kind of a twofold, so you may have to work.
For sensory seekers, those who are just on the go at all times.
Yes.
Getting those big movements in first.
Mm-hmm. So ants in your pants, kind of having a hard time sitting down, focused, doing those academic packets. Do some of these, then move into
the calm down.
And then you should be at a state of yellow, just to try to help focus. So these are just tidbits. We can guide you more individually if you need it, but we wanted you to have that information. Okay.
Then we have some more prep activities. So these are things you would do before you begin your handwriting work. We've got a little alien Play-Doh mats that you can use. We try to keep this all kind of outer space themed since we're missing Special Olympics and we're sad about it. So here's your little monsters, and we've included 2 little containers of Play-Doh for everybody. We weren't able to get every color that you see here, but do you see how they're kind of shaped in this little log roll? That's a good way to start. You want to have them put their Play-Doh on the table and kind of get it going into that skinny form, and then they can place it on the paper into the design shown. But see, some of them are smaller, so you might could have them roll it out into that log, then pinch pieces off, and we're building that fine motor strength. Here's what your Play-Doh will look like. Some of them are bigger containers.
Yes.
The next one is a little sticker sheet. It's a good visual, perceptual, matching. We've got a little packet of stickers going out to you. Now, if you see that your kid is struggling to peel these off, you may want to just have them kind of sticking off the side of the table and let them just pull them and add them. You should have enough to cover each one though.
Mm-hmm. Works on visual discrimination. Lots of good skills here. Oh, and you can, if you want to increase the challenge, you can tape it on the wall, and it really works more upper extremity strength and wrist. And then if you want to challenge their balance, get a pillow or a sofa cushion and have them stand on that as they're sticking those.
Okay.
Everybody gets a pencil, so that will be in your packet as well.
And a little fidget stretchy band. That's another good little warm-up activity. You can have them stretching it, pulling it, squeezing it. It's a good just little fidget whenever they're trying to sit and do their schoolwork too.
Some of the packets will have there's some activities that use beans that work on fine motor, picking them up, working on pincer, picking them up in one hand, making designs using the beans, and there'll be worksheets to go with that. Again, every packet may not have this, but just yours might.
Show them what we did earlier too.
Yeah.
So one thing you can have them do is have them sitting out on the table, make it a race, time them, and each time try to increase. But the main thing you want to pay attention to is having them use these 2 fingers to pick them up, and you want to see how many they can hold in their hand, working on translation, and keeping them from dropping them. You can get siblings involved, do races, whatever you need to do, trying to hold as many as they can in their hand.
Beat your best record.
Okay, then we have some pre-writing stuff included. This one, where you're having to keep your pencil within the maze. Here's a matching sheet, so you have to match the monsters.
And that's just working on visual perception, because all of our kiddos have to scan their textbooks and their notebooks and look for certain things in words. So we're just trying to sharpen those skills.
Here's a good one for following directions. They'll have different monsters, and it'll tell you down at the bottom what you want drawn on the face. A lot of mine, we've done similar things with stickers, making the monster faces, so they should be familiar with this. But some may need the directions read to them so that they're understanding what to do, and then let them just be creative and draw the monster's eyes, faces.
And there are crayons in their packet as well, and we chose the small ones because it really works on their fine motor skills more than the larger crayons.
That's all I'm following. Okay, then we have a visual discrimination, so finding the differences in the monsters. So looking at the top page to the bottom. This is a little bit more difficult, so this is going to be for those who are a little higher in this group of packets. The next one is kind of working on some math skills as well. It's called above and below. So they'll have to use scissors here. We were not able to send everybody home a pair of scissors, so hopefully you've got some to work on that. Next to our visual scanning, just some little visual scanning sheets. What you'll have to do is pick a letter up at the top and then scan through and find those letters. You may want to just pick a few and color in the letter for them, and then have them use that same color crayon to color in the letters down at the bottom until you filled up the whole page with different colors. There's a lowercase and an uppercase sheet.
Like find all the A's, find all the B's, all the C's, and that's just a really good scanning. That just carries over into all their different subjects.
Last one is called block by block. So you're going to look at the colored squares on the left and cover it up. And then, so you'll show it to them. They'll see it here. And then you'll want to either take a piece of paper or your hand and cover it up and see if through visual memory they can recall what to do over here. If that's a little too difficult, you could just leave it shown and let them try to just copy over here.
And you could break it down and just do, okay, the top, you wouldn't have to do the whole square.
Grade it to however they need it.
Absolutely.
The last thing we have in here are just some, we use the Handwriting Without Tears program a lot. You may all be familiar with it now because we've been using it for a few years. We made them just like a little spelling sheet. You can use it just for copying. You can use it for spelling word practice, whatever you need to do. And you can even have them trace first and then copy, or, learn the spelling of the words and then have a little test on this side. The next one is working on sentence structure. So we've just got some little outer space sentences for them. One thing a lot of my kids, I feel like you probably have the same thing, struggle with are hearing the teacher say something and being able to copy it. So you could cover this up and read them the sentence out loud and see if they can recall it and copy it down below.
Yes, and you'll notice the different sizing of the lines, and so that's just a progression in the program. So we kind of gave a little bit of both, because that's kind of where we would be right now in the school year, progressing them from larger lines to the smaller lines so that there's carryover in their schoolwork. So we have kind of a nice variety of that for the students.
And then working on paragraphs, there's 2 included in this. So again, you can either say the sentence and have them copy it, or just copy down below. But there's 2 different ones for you to use there. Okay. And the last part, we want everybody to just have something fun too, because we try to make all of our sessions fun and creative and help them think outside of the box. This one is just for drawing a picture of your house. So a little chance to get outside, have them really pay attention to details and shapes on the house, colors, and then it leaves a blank page for them to just draw what they feel like they see for drawing a picture of their house. And then hopefully they can write their name, street, city, zip code. So working on some of those skills that are needed as well.
And it may be you need to copy it down and then do like a paper to paper transfer, because we know copying from the board is difficult for some of our students. So that's one way you could adapt that. And again, this is just work on that visual memory that Katie mentioned earlier.
Then we have a color by number sheet, got the little crayons incorporated. Again, if they're not able to read this and match, you may have to either outline or color the number and then let them do the fill-in coloring to grade that down a little bit. And the last one is just a fun little outer space picture on cardstock, and we've given everybody some watercolors. Again, you can go outside if you don't want to get the house messy and just have fun with it. We'd love to see pictures.
Yes, and I did have one question yesterday. We've been trying to make calls to parents and reach out just so we kind of know if there's any specific concerns we need to address. But one question I had is, do we have to return the packet? No, you do not have to return anything to us. All of the supplies in here for the students to keep. But if they do, and you have time and you want to snap a picture and text it to us or email us, then that just gives us an extra sample, work sample for their file. And then just fun stuff. We'd love to see the fun stuff that they're doing too.
Again, any questions, comment on Remind, email, call us, text us, FaceTime. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. All right. See you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.